Namaskar. Welcome to Kundli Consult once again. Pitru Paksh is going on, and during Pitru Paksh, there's a belief that you must donate foods, clothes, so many other things to people for the benefit of your Purvaj, that is, your ancestors, and to get their blessings. But on this occasion, I will cover a bigger question mark, which is who should donate, what should you donate, and most importantly, which is neglected, is to whom you should donate. Now, let me say that first of all, to start with, that any kind of donation that you do to anybody will negate some amount of bad karmas in you. However, the question is really, do all donations, irrespective of how you do it and to whom you do it, would they give you the positive results always? And if you're doing for a specific reason. For example, and I will take this Pitru Paksh only to explain to start with. Pitru Paksh, you're donating to ancestors, for your ancestors. And you hope that your ancestors would take those donations and give you blessings, and therefore a lot of blockages in your life would break and you would progress. Now, if you consider ancestors or donation for ancestors, ancestors are essentially soul. You're donating for a particular soul who may not have taken birth yet and started a new karma cycle. Now, if you take our Vedic astrology, our planetary system, then the graha or the planet which is associated with soul is basically sun. So, any donation that you make has to be with respect to sun. If you are doing a donation, particularly with Pitru Paksh in mind, otherwise it is just a general donation, which yes, it will give you some positive overall karmas, but would not be for a specific purpose, may not serve a specific remedy, or sometimes it can even backfire. And I'll explain that backfiring with some other examples. So if it is for a soul during Pitru Paksh, and therefore it connotes to the donation with sun in mind, because sun represents soul in our horoscope, then any donation with respect to sun has to go to either Brahmins or to temples. Because as per our Hora Shastra, Parashar Hora Shastra, and other text of Vedic astrology, sun is associated with temple, or temple is associated with sun, or it is in some texts, astrologers or commentators have written as that sun resides in temple. So be whatever it may be, but essentially all the Shastras drive to the point, the ancient Vedic astrology Shastras guide to the point that any donation with respect to sun, for sun, remedy of sun, has to be given to Brahmins or to temples, or a combination of both, because the Purohit in the temple is usually a Brahmin. So therefore, if you are doing a donation for Pitru Paksh and doing it not to a Brahmin or not in a temple, either which way, then you do not get the benefit of a donation in Pitru Paksh. It may still be a donation which will give you some positive, may give you, negate your some overall negative karmas, but it will not give you the benefit that is associated with Pitru Paksh or associated with sun. And therefore, extending it forward, If you have, say, a son afflicted, or for some reason you want to do a remedy for sun, then you cannot give the articles which are associated with sun generally, like wheat flour, jaggery. You cannot donate it to anybody and say that I have done the remedy for sun. The remedy for sun, if you're doing, which is donation of wheat flour or jaggery, has necessarily to be done in a temple or to a Brahmin. Otherwise, it does not work as a remedy for sun. So this is something which is usually missed by people when they are doing a donation, because nowadays there are so many YouTube channels, so many people giving their commentaries, even with half-baked knowledge, and you also have astrologers who have not understood the context correctly when they read, because I keep saying, and a lot of other good astrologers keep saying that, suppose if you're following Briyat Parashar Hura Shastra, then the Rishi or sage Parasar says some things and he assumes that if you are reading him, you know the rest. So unless you know the rest, you will not be able to understand what he is not written also, because probably assumes you know, or you would know when you try to understand that dictum of what he's trying to say. So therefore, what you donate, you may be correct if you are doing a donation with respect to a planet in terms of what is to be donated, because at least this part, most of the people are correct. But whom to donate is not generally said, and many times it is said wrong. And therefore, it does not give you the results of a specific remedy or a particular planet or a position in a horoscope, and sometimes it may also backfire. Now, so why does it backfire, or how there's a position of backfire? I'll explain you probably with a simple example. Now, suppose you are doing, or you have been told to do a remedy of Jupiter, that is Guru. And whatever are the items of Jupiter Guru, you donate it to an extremely lower class person. There's somebody, say a sanitation worker, and I have nothing against the sanitation worker. They have been given a certain karma in their life, and they are doing it, so they are equally respected. But the point I'm trying to make is that they represent Saturn in this karma. So when you are donating an item to them, what essentially you're doing is you're taking Jupiter to Saturn, and Jupiter is debilitated, or it is niche in the Rashi of Saturn, which is Capricorn. So therefore, if you do this kind of a remedy where an item of Jupiter you're giving to Saturn, because you want to do a remedy for Jupiter, it will only backfire. It will give you troubles in other ways in your life, which probably you would not know, which would depend on placement of Saturn and horoscope and the signs of Capricorn and Cancer and Sagittarius in your chart. So therefore, you have to be very careful specifically when you are doing a particular remedy during a period in time or for a particular planet, whom you are donating. Otherwise, as I said, you may get a general positive by negative and overall karma, but it does not work to solve a specific problem. This is an important part of donation as a remedy or during occasions like Pitra Paksh, which people generally do not talk about or are not mentioned. They will just say that in Pitra Paksh, do donation. feed the needy, but whom and for what is not specifically explained, and therefore many times it does not work. Many times it starts giving you negative result after a point in time in an area of life which you never realize also. So I hope with this brief video, I have tried to resolve an unsaid part of donation with respect to Vedic astrology, which is not directly mentioned but can be inferred from, and people do not infer it, and therefore they give a generalized statement or a generalized remedy that donate this thing for this planet or for this problem. Do share my video amongst your friends and relatives if you like uh, the videos that I make in this video, so that the true knowledge of astrology reaches to everybody. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed, so that my subscriber base increases and then I can even put text. And till then, please do follow me on Telegram, because on Telegram I'm far more interactive and I give regular updates on astrology there, which is not possible on a YouTube to make a video. Thank you and namaskar.